One more chip for me. Okay. Very nice. And because you're using a simpler swing, you're going to repeat that swing a little easier, a little more consistently. Let me see you hit a few, but put about 6 inches between the feet.
Okay.
So I want to see what if that makes it easier to stay more stable on the left side. Another one in the box. Very clean. Another one in the box. So hands forward, weight forward, stay forward. Very consistent. So that chili dip used to call. I don't know if you know all the terms in golf or little slangs for all these bad shots. That little chili dip is going to almost go away. Now, just easier to have your hands forward. And you might have to, and it's also going to cause you to have de-loft the face, so you may not have to have as much club speed. You can actually have a softer swing and still get it to your target. Because it'll run out a little bit more because of the lower angle that setting it back does. Does that make sense? Let's play the ball a little bit closer to your back foot. Almost right. Let's hit a few from your right toe. So it's really on your back foot and your hands are really forward. There you go. Yeah. Good one. Hands forward, weight forward, stay forward.
Brent, we made a couple of changes on your chipping technique. On the left was when you were hitting these shots before I made adjustments in your technique. You had chosen a lofted club. You had a tendency to play the ball about the middle of your stance, and you had a little bit wider stance than I prefer. You also had a shaft that was pretty vertical here, and your hands were not really in front of the golf ball, but right on top of the golf ball. I made several different changes. One is I suggested that we go to a lower lofted club, and I think in this example on the right, you went to a pitching wedge. And I also narrowed your stance, your feet are a little bit closer together, and more importantly, I created a shaft lean which allowed you to get your hands in front of the golf ball, making it easier to strike the ball before you hit the ground. You want to hit the ball first and the ground second with these. Anytime you're hitting a ball that's on the ground, you want to make sure you hit the ball first before you hit the ground. And that requires getting the low point of your swing in front of the ball. And the best way to do that is to, one, get your hands in front of the golf ball, and two, get your weight on your left side. And so you can see you made a pretty radical adjustment here, and you're in a much better position to hit quality, solid shots from around the green. So anytime you're hitting a short game shot, whether it be a chip shot or a pitch shot, narrow your stance a little bit, get your hands in front of the ball, get your weight on your left side, and keep it there. You did a very good adjustment here, and you started hitting a lot of good, solid shots.
Good ball. That's a draw. So that one change may make a big difference here.
Brent, when we went to the range to work on your full swing with your iron and your driver, I'd anticipated seeing you hit the ball to the right and hit some slices. You had indicated that you were doing that prior to having our lesson. And you hit one really good iron shot after another, and you hit many good drives. And you never did hit the shot to the right or the slice with the driver. In fact, you hit some drives with draws. We did make one important change when we were working on the chip shot, and that change positively influenced your full swing shot as well. We made a change in your grip, particularly the left hand. This picture shows on the left your left hand position before I made the change. It's a little bit blurry, but you can see how your white glove, you cannot see the label on the back of that glove. And the picture on the right was after we made the change, and you can clearly see the back of your left hand. You can see the red circle on the back label of that glove. So by strengthening your left hand, it allowed you to square the club face up at impact so that the club face was not open and pointing to the right. This started the ball much more on line and reduced the amount of curve as well. So it's going to be very important for you to continue to playing well and to hit solid shots, is to get very comfortable with this new left-hand grip. So for right now, that's all I want you working on until you get really comfortable. There are some other things I would like to work on in your swing, but right now, focus on that. Brent, the next time we do work together, I want to get you in a little better impact position. Everything the ball does is a response to what you create at the moment of impact. How far it goes, how high it goes, whether or not you hit it solid, how much you curve it, is all going to be a response to the club's position at impact. And everything you do prior to impact has the sole purpose of helping you arrive at a fundamentally sound impact position. On the right, I have Grant Waite, who was considered having one of the best swings in golf. He's now a top instructor for tour players. You can see how much he's on his left side at the moment of impact. The average pro will have 85% of their weight on their left side at the moment of impact. His hands are well in front of the golf ball, which allows him to hit down. So he's hitting down into that golf ball, and you're coming in a little bit level because your weight is kind of on your back foot. So those would be some of the things I would want to work on, particularly if you start having a series of shots where you're hitting fat a lot or thin a lot, but not consistently hitting it solid. Then you're going to need to make a geometric change so that you're more on your left side at impact.